Welcome to our deep dive into PlayLab AI.
Ah,
We're going to be uncovering how this initiative is putting AI tools
okay.
directly into the hands of teachers and students.
Yeah.
You'll get to see how it works, what impact it's having,
Right.
and get a glimpse at the future of learning.
Interesting.
And all this is based on internal documents from a student team
Uh-huh.
that was right in the thick of the action.
So what's really cool about PlayLab is that it doesn't require users to
Right.
be coding wizards,
Yeah.
or tech gurus. They've figured out how to make AI accessible to everyone.
Okay, so their approach with these custom bots is what really sets them apart.
Right.
So instead of just generic AI tools,
Yeah.
you can really tailor the learning experience.
Uh-huh.
It's almost like having a personal tutor who knows exactly what you need.
Like a personalized tutor.
But how does that actually work?
Well, the team was working on this system
Okay.
where you feed the AI information related to a specific subject, and then you can actually interact with it.
Yeah.
And it's more than just asking questions and getting answers.
Right.
The bot can actually guide you through concepts
Interesting.
and even use different personas to make it more engaging.
So it's not just about delivering information, it's
Right.
about creating an experience.
Yeah, an experience.
And from these documents,
Mhm.
it sounds like this student team was a big part of making that vision a reality.
Yeah, they were super involved
Okay.
in building those bots.
Uh-huh.
Like, for example, they created one for music history
Huh.
that uses historical figures as interactive guides.
Interesting.
So instead of just reading about Bach,
Right.
you're suddenly having a conversation with him,
Wow.
guided by the AI.
That sounds way more engaging than a textbook.
Yeah, definitely.
And it seems like this hands-on experience wasn't just about building cool tech.
Right.
It was also about understanding the needs of the people who would actually be using it.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
They were working directly with professors,
Oh, wow.
incorporating their feedback
Okay.
and making sure that the bots fit real classroom needs.
So it really ensured that the bots were practical and user-friendly,
Right.
which is something that's often overlooked in tech development.
Yeah, you're right about that.
So it was like a two-way street.
It was
The students were learning by doing, but they were also contributing to a real project
a real project.
that had the potential to impact actual classrooms.
Exactly. And it wasn't just bot development.
Okay.
They were also heavily involved in creating curriculum for PlayLabs, professional learning communities.
Okay.
These workshops were designed to introduce community college educators to AI
Wow.
and show them how it could be a powerful tool in their classrooms.
That's so interesting.
Right.
So they were not just learning about AI, they were teaching others how to use it.
They were.
That must have been a pretty valuable experience.
It was really valuable.
Yeah.
They had to think on their feet,
Oh, yeah.
answer questions from experienced educators,
Wow.
and tailor their presentations to address real classroom challenges.
Talk about a crash course in leadership and communication.
Totally.
So not only were they building these AI tools,
Right.
they were also becoming ambassadors for AI in education.
Yeah, they were.
That's pretty powerful.
That is.
It really gets to the heart of what makes PlayLab so fascinating.
Uh-huh.
They're not just focused on the technology, but on how to integrate it into the human landscape of education.
And the impact goes even deeper than that.
Okay.
These documents show some really personal insights
Uh-huh.
from the students
Okay.
about how this experience changed their views on AI and learning.
I'm intrigued. What were some of those aha moments?
Well, one student, Kenneth,
Okay.
initially thought AI would replace teachers entirely.
Wow.
But after working on PlayLab,
Uh-huh.
he realized that AI was actually about creating solutions
Okay.
that empower educators.
Interesting.
He saw firsthand how AI could handle tasks
Yeah.
like personalized feedback or content delivery,
Right.
which frees up teachers to focus on
Yeah.
more human-centered aspects of education.
That's a crucial shift in thinking.
It
It's
is.
not about AI versus teachers,
Right.
but AI as a partner,
As a partner.
a tool that can enhance what teachers already do.
Exactly.
And there's another great example from Varun,
Okay.
who was tasked with creating curriculum slides for the instructors using Canva.
Right.
And he talked about how this really pushed him creatively
Yeah.
and helped him develop his visual communication skills that he
Yeah.
hadn't even considered before.
That's really cool.
Like this ripple effect.
It is.
The project's impact went beyond just the technology itself.
It did.
It touched the students, the
Yeah.
educators,
Yeah.
and their whole approach to learning.
Their approach.
But now I'm curious about the bigger picture.
Okay.
What does this all mean for the future of education?
That's where it gets really interesting.
Okay.
The potential of AI in education is huge,
Uh-huh.
but it also comes with some real challenges.
Right.
We're talking about personalized learning paths
Okay.
that adapt to individual needs and styles,
Interesting.
tools that make education more accessible,
Yeah.
and even ways to bridge the digital divide.
That's incredible.
Yeah,
But I imagine there are some hurdles to overcome as well.
of course.
What are those?
And that's exactly what we'll dive into next.
Okay.
We'll explore both the bright possibilities and the potential pitfalls
Okay.
of AI in education,
Yeah.
and what PlayLab's approach might reveal
Uh-huh.
about navigating this complex landscape.
Okay, great.
Welcome back to our deep dive into PlayLab AI.
Right.
Before we moved on,
Uh-huh.
we were just discussing how the student teams work.
Right.
Wasn't just about, coding and algorithms,
Yeah.
but about really understanding the human side of education.
And that's what makes these documents so fascinating.
It does.
You get this behind-the-scenes look
Yeah.
at how these students' perspectives were changing.
Yeah.
As they worked on this real-world challenge.
Yeah, a real-world challenge.
Of bringing AI into the classroom.
Right. And one student actually mentioned
Okay.
that he initially thought
Uh-huh.
that AI would make teachers obsolete.
Oh, wow.
But through his work with PlayLab,
Okay.
he came to see AI in a totally different light.
So how did his view change? What was his aha moment?
Well, he realized
Yeah.
that AI's power is in creating solutions
Okay.
that can make teachers even more effective.
Interesting.
So instead of replacing teachers,
Right.
AI can take on other tasks,
Okay.
like grading,
Uh-huh.
providing personalized feedback,
Okay.
or delivering content in more engaging ways.
Right.
And that frees up teachers
Yeah.
to focus on things like
Yep.
mentorship, fostering creativity,
All right.
and building relationships with their students.
It's like AI is taking on the role of a super TA,
Yeah, like a super TA.
allowing the teacher to focus on
Right.
being more of a guide and facilitator.
Right.
And that's much more optimistic
It is.
than the whole robots are taking over narrative.
Yeah, definitely.
And it highlights PlayLab's focus on collaboration,
Uh-huh.
right?
They're not just trying to force AI on educators.
Okay.
They're working with them
Yeah.
to make tools that meet real classroom needs.
And speaking of collaboration,
Okay.
one student's reflection really stood out to me.
Uh-huh.
He talked about how PlayLab actually helped him develop leadership skills.
Leadership skills.
How did a project that was focused on AI
Right.
lead to leadership development?
So during those PLC sessions
Okay.
where they were teaching professors about PlayLab, he found himself having to think on his feet
Oh, yeah.
and improvise.
Okay.
Professors would ask unexpected questions,
Right.
and he had to figure out how to answer them,
Yeah.
sometimes without even knowing all the answers.
So it was a trial by fire.
Yeah, you could say that.
And he realized
Right.
that those moments,
Yeah,
while they were challenging, were really valuable learning experiences.
they were valuable.
He learned to be comfortable with ambiguity,
Yeah.
to think critically under pressure,
Uh-uh.
and to communicate effectively,
Wow.
even when he wasn't sure of the answer.
Exactly.
And those are skills
Yeah,
for any leader.
they are.
And it sounds like the student really embraced those challenges and grew from them.
He did, and it really shows
Yeah.
the wider impact that PlayLab is having.
Mm-hmm.
It's not just about building these tools.
Yeah.
It's also about developing the next generation
Right.
of thinkers and problem solvers
Yeah.
who are going to shape the future.
It's almost like they're building a whole ecosystem
They are.
around AI.
Yeah.
And it's not just the technology,
Right.
but also the human skills
Yeah.
that are needed to use it well
And ethically.
and ethically.
Exactly. And through the PLC sessions,
Mm-hmm.
they introduced PlayLab to a lot of community college educators.
Okay.
And that sparked conversations
Mm-hmm.
and laid the groundwork for using AI in more classrooms.
So they were acting as catalysts for change,
Yeah, as catalysts.
not just developers.
Right. And what's amazing
Yeah.
is that they didn't just give a canned presentation.
Okay.
They really took the time to listen to these educators,
Uh-huh.
understand their challenges,
Yeah.
and tailor their presentations
Yeah.
to their needs.
So it was a true partnership,
It was.
not just a one-way transfer of information.
And that's why it worked.
Right.
People are more likely to embrace something new
Yeah.
when they feel like they're part of the process.
It was about empowering educators,
Yeah.
not dictating to them.
Exactly.
And that approach
Yeah.
seems to be central to PlayLab.
It is.
And it brings us back to that question.
Yeah.
What surprised you most
Okay.
about PlayLab AI?
I was really struck
Yeah.
by how thoughtful they were
Okay.
It's not about throwing tech at a problem.
Right.
It's about thinking about the impact
Yeah.
on students and educators
Uh-huh.
and making tools that are accessible,
Right.
inclusive,
Yeah.
and that actually meet people's needs.
So they're not just building AI.
No?
They're building a better future for education.
Yeah.
One where technology helps people, not the other way around.
That's a good way to put it.
It's a reminder that
Yeah.
even though AI has so much potential,
Yeah,
we also have to be responsible with it.
absolutely we do.
So it's not just the what of AI, but it's also the how.
The how.
Let's talk about the potential and challenges of AI in education.
Yeah.
We talked about personalized learning, accessibility,
Yeah.
and bridging the digital divide.
Right.
But there's still a lot more to explore.
There is.
So what are some of the things on the horizon?
Okay, well, one of the most exciting things is that AI can create truly personalized learning.
Personalized learning.
Yeah, imagine a world
Wow.
where every student has a custom curriculum.
That's like science fiction.
It is kind of.
How could that even work?
Well, AI can look at a lot of data
Okay.
about students' learning patterns,
Uh-huh.
their strengths,
Okay.
weaknesses,
Okay.
and even their engagement levels.
Interesting.
And based on this data,
Uh-huh.
AI can suggest activities,
Okay.
resources,
Uh-huh.
and even how fast they should be learning.
Wow.
So students are always challenged,
Yeah.
but not overwhelmed,
It's like having your own personal tutor.
right? Like a personal tutor.
Who is changing the lesson plan as you go?
Exactly.
Yeah.
And it's not just about content.
Okay.
AI can also give personalized feedback
Mm-hmm.
to help students understand
Right.
what they're good at
Yeah.
and what they need to work on.
That's incredible.
It is.
But all that requires so much data.
It does.
And these algorithms are so complicated.
They are complex.
But is that really possible?
That's definitely one of the challenges. We
Yeah.
have to make sure
Uh-huh.
that AI systems have good data
Right.
that's diverse and represents everyone.
Okay.
We also have to watch out for bias
Yeah.
in the data that could lead to unfair results.
Right.
So it's a tough problem,
Yeah.
but researchers are working on it.
So there's a lot of good that can be done,
There is.
but we also need to think carefully
We do.
about the ethics.
The ethics of it all.
And that reminds me of another important thing.
Yeah.
Accessibility.
Accessibility.
We talked about it a little,
Yeah.
but let's talk more about it.
Okay.
AI has the potential
It does.
to remove barriers that have kept students with disabilities
Right.
from participating in learning.
Yeah.
You mentioned tools like screen readers
Yeah.
and captioning software.
Right.
Are there other ways
Here are.
AI can make education more inclusive?
So AI can be used
Okay.
to create personalized materials
Uh-huh.
that are adapted to different needs.
Okay.
For example,
Yeah.
a student with dyslexia might do better if the text is in a certain font
Mm-hmm.
or has some visual aids.
Right.
AI can also be used to make tools
Okay.
that help students with physical disabilities
Yeah.
navigate the classroom
Right.
and interact with learning materials.
It's all about creating a learning space that really includes everyone
Yeah.
and gives them the power to learn.
Exactly.
And AI can help with that.
It can.
But are there also downsides?
There are definitely potential downsides.
What are those risks?
Well, one of the biggest concerns
Okay.
is bias in the algorithms.
Right.
If the AI systems are learning from data
Mm-hmm.
that isn't diverse,
Right.
they might just continue existing inequalities
Oh, wow.
or even make new ones.
Yeah.
For instance,
Yeah.
if an AI system is trying to find students who are struggling,
Okay.
but the data it's using
Yeah.
is mostly from one type of background,
Mm-hmm.
it might miss students from other backgrounds
Wow.
who are also having trouble.
So we have to make sure
We do.
the data used to train these AI systems
Right.
is diverse and represents everyone.
Exactly. And it's not just about the data.
Okay.
We need to think about how the AI is designed.
Right.
Can students with disabilities use it?
Yeah.
Does it give the right support and customization?
Uh-huh.
These are important questions
Yeah.
we need to think about from the beginning.
So we have to design AI for accessibility,
Yeah, for accessibility.
not just add it as a feature later.
Exactly. And we can't forget about the human part.
Right.
AI can help make learning more inclusive.
Uh-huh. But it's still just a tool. We still need teachers and educators.
We do.
And that human connection
Human connection.
in the classroom.
Absolutely.
AI should help educators,
Uh-huh.
not replace them.
Not replace them.
It's about humans and technology working together,
It is.
where each has their own strengths
That's a good point.
And that leads us to another challenge,
Okay.
bridging the digital divide.
The digital divide.
We've talked about how AI can personalize learning
Yeah.
and make it more accessible.
Right.
But what about the students
Yeah.
who don't even have technology?
That's a big problem,
It is.
especially when we're talking about AI.
Right. If they don't have internet or a computer,
Mm-hmm.
how can they use these new tools?
That's a tough question.
Yeah.
It needs a multi-pronged solution.
Right.
First, we have to invest in infrastructure
Okay.
to make sure all students
Yeah.
have affordable internet.
It's like building roads.
Yeah, like building roads.
Or bridges.
Or bridges.
It's basic infrastructure.
It is.
And we need to make sure students have devices
Right.
that can use these AI tools.
Uh-huh.
This might mean giving laptops or tablets
Yeah.
to students who can't afford them.
Right.
Or setting up places
Right.
where students can access computers
And the internet.
and the internet.
Yeah.
So it's not just about the technology itself.
It's not.
It's about giving everyone access.
It is. And it's also about digital literacy.
Right.
Even if students have devices and internet,
Uh-huh.
they need the skills to use them well
Yeah, and safely.
and safely.
So we need to have programs that teach students
Mhm.
how to use the internet,
Yeah.
evaluate information,
Uh-huh.
and use technology creatively.
And AI can help with that too.
I can.
AI tutoring systems
Mhm.
can give personalized support to
Right.
students who are struggling
With those digital skills.
with those digital skills.
Yeah.
So we're using tech
Uh-huh.
to address the problems tech has created.
Right. And it's about creating a cycle
Yeah.
where technology empowers and lifts people up,
Right.
not divides them.
And that's a powerful vision.
It is.
And it sounds like we're just starting
Yeah, we're just at the beginning.
to figure out how AI can be used in education.
We're in the early stages.
I'm excited to see what the future brings,
Me too.
especially with groups like PlayLab leading the way. And I think it's important to remember
Okay.
that the future of AI in education isn't set.
Mm-hmm.
We're all creating it together.
So we're not just watching it happen.
Yeah.
We're actively shaping it
We are.
to match our values
Uh-huh.
and our hopes for the future.
Exactly. And that brings us to the last part
Okay.
of our deep dives,
Yeah.
where we'll look at some key things.
Right.
We've learned about PlayLab AI
Okay.
and what it all means
Right.
for the future of learning.
So we've talked a lot about PlayLab AI,
We-
from building these bots to how AI might change education.
Right.
It's clear PlayLab's doing some innovative stuff,
They are.
but I'm still thinking about
How
how
about it?
AI can bridge the digital divide.
Yeah.
It sounds good in theory,
Mm-hmm.
but can it really fix those deep inequalities in education?
It's the big question, isn't it?
It is.
And there's no easy answer.
Right.
But I think PlayLab gives us some clues.
Okay.
Remember how they made AI easy to use? Even for people who don't code.
Right.
That's how we need to approach the digital divide, too.
So it's not enough to just build fancy AI tools?
No, it's not enough.
We have to make sure everyone can use them,
Everyone.
no matter who they are,
Exactly.
or where they come from.
And that means fixing the basics first.
Right.
We can't assume everyone has a laptop and fast internet
Uh-huh.
and knows how to use it all.
Those are the things
Yeah.
that stop students from getting a good education.
So we have to tackle those problems directly.
But how can AI help with that?
Well,
It's not like AI can magically give everyone internet.
true, but AI can make our efforts more effective.
Okay.
Think about those personalized learning platforms.
Yeah.
What if they could adapt to slow internet or older devices?
So instead of those things being a problem,
Right.
the AI works around them.
It figures out how to teach best,
Right.
given those limitations.
And AI can also help with digital literacy,
It can.
which is really important.
It is.
For bridging that digital divide.
Imagine AI tutors
Yeah.
that help students
Uh-huh.
who are just learning
Right.
basic computer skills.
Well, we're using technology
Right.
to solve the problems
Yeah.
that technology has caused.
It's about creating a positive cycle
Exactly.
where technology helps everyone.
And doesn't leave anyone behind.
That's the goal.
What about the student team?
Yeah.
What was the most important thing you learned?
I was really impressed
Yeah.
by how they were willing to change their minds.
Mm-hmm.
They started with some ideas about AI,
Right.
and those ideas totally changed through working on this project.
It sounds like a real learning experience.
It was.
They didn't just learn about AI.
Right? They learned how to work together, how to lead,
Yeah.
and how to design things with people in mind.
Yeah.
And those are valuable skills,
They are.
no matter what they do in the future.
It shows that education is more than just facts.
It is.
It's about thinking critically.
Yeah.
being creative.
And making the world a better place.
And as we explore AI in education,
Right.
those human skills are going to be so important.
So we need to be thoughtful
We do.
about how we use AI.
And make sure it's helping people.
That's the key.
It is.
Well, this has been a fascinating look at PlayLab AI.
It has.
I hope our listeners have learned something
Me too.
about this powerful new technology.
We encourage you to learn more
Yeah?
and keep the conversation going.
What excites you about AI in education?
Yeah.
What worries you?
Share your thoughts.
And thanks for joining us
Thanks for listening.
for another deep dive.